we tackle the bane of EU, the team of professionals that never sway, salt, or smile, Team EG. Oh, how they mock us in our little scene. They have Team Liquid and the Green Giants, the Bears and the Brawlers, and in unison they spam their NA lol in chat. But despite all their attempts to take shots at NA, we as NA fans know only 2 letters need to be said to send those troll scum back to their mummies cellars. EG. One of the world's most stable and successful teams, EG has been the pride of the American scene for years, bringing forth some of the most undeniably gifted talent the world has ever seen. With minimum changes to their core roster and a dependable and reliable ass-kicking potential for years now, EG has been the beacon of light in North America, rising above the scene's banalities time and time again to be the shining example of what your average NA pub star hopes to become. But hey, they aren't NA. They got a bunch of guys from around the world on their team. Guess what else has a lot of people from around the world on its team? America, motherfucker! Where anyone can be a citizen if they want it hard enough. And nobody wants it more than the boys of Evil Geniuses. Evil Geniuses became a heavyweight in the Dota 2 scene through the leadership of PPD, who captained the team for 3 years. 3 years of ass-kicking Euros both in games and on social media. But like all the great leaders of the US, he had to step down and make way for a new leader, causing some major changes in the last year. Old Man Fear hung up his mouth shortly after PPD's departure, and the grizzled vet decided he would spread his wisdom to the youth, while TI5 winning captain PPD became the CEO of Evil Geniuses, leader of industry and the people, America. 2 giants that helped build EG's brand were stepping away, and it was time for a new captain. But who could take on that task? Who was man enough to succeed the Salt Lord himself? None other than Crit. Crit leaving OG to become the captain of EG was completely unexpected, especially considering the success he had with OG winning 2 of the first 3 Valve majors. He also had no real first-hand experience of leading a top team by himself, but he'd watched Fly in action and knew that it was his time to shine. He got his passport ready and immigrated right on over to Evil Geniuses. And what a team he had at his disposal. Recently returned top-notch support player and devilishly handsome Grill Zai, along with the world's greatest offlaner in Universe, also arguably the best mid player in the world, Sumail. They were, however, missing a carry player now that Fear was coaching, and who better to succeed him than his oldest son, metaphorically speaking, of course, Arteezy. Arteezy was to be the final piece of the puzzle, a player who had left twice before, but deep down in his heart knew that EG was his true home. The wild child of EG, like many of us, had spent some experimental years in Europe, but like most Americans, he saw the beautiful sights of the rest of the world, but had to just come back home at the dawn of a new era and under new leadership. On paper, the lineup was almost flawless, but how well could they gel together without the sharp leadership of the one and only PPD? The team had already generated intense interest from fans without even playing a single game, and Valve chose the new EG as one of the 2 teams to feature in their brand new behind-the-scenes documentary, True Sight. As part of the documentary, the players for the first few months together were heavily documented. Episode 1 focused on their boot camp and their trip to their first LAN together, the MDL 2016 in China. What made the tournament even more special was that the new EG roster made their debut at MDL 2016 before in October. Not only was Crit leading a team for the first time, but he was also doing so under the cameras and the glaring lights. And the Dane ended up in the same group as his former team OG, just for some added spice. Deliberate or intentional? Who knows? It's fair to say that the pressure was on EG, but they cruised the first seed in the group with EG's second official match as a team 2-1 victory over OG, the best they had to offer. Marin. Under Crit's leadership, the old crew came back stronger than ever. In the end, it was PP don't actually need it. Nah, but he was still helping out. Following the big win in China, EG took a month's break to let the lesser regions catch up as they prepared for the Boston Major. The Valve's cameras continued to follow the team, who experienced a slight upset at Northern Arena tournament, but the team's 3rd place at the Summit 6 avoided the need for drama. The real test, however, was just around the corner, the $3 million Boston Major. EG's last appearance at a major was in Manila in 2015 and 16, where they unexpectedly finished 9-16. That terrible result led to the removal of Bobo and Aoi, who had been recruited just for that shuffle. Prior to that, PPD had led the old EG to 2 top 4 finishes at Shanghai and Frankfurt, but never to a grand final. However, with a new 2-time Valve Major champion at the helm, the team felt confident until the terrible news: single elimination. EG is famous as a team that learns and adapts, typically losing game 1 of a series and then going on to stomp the other 2 games, analyzing their opponent's strengths and weaknesses and going for the win in round 2. They were known to do this in brackets as well, typically losing to the stronger team in the group, studying their mistakes, and then rising through the lower bracket under the most pressure to face off in the finals again and win. But now, thanks to Valve, there were no lower bracket glory days and no comeback stories. A stop-start group stage gave EG a date in the playoffs with the winners of the International 6, the reigning champions, Wings Gaming. But this time, they had a new captain, and this time, they obliterated. EG weren't done yet. Oh no, they took Virtus Pro to the cleaners as well, even though they were the favorites of the tournament, mostly because no one had talked some smack back on stage about beating EG in 2 20-minute games. EG were stopped by OG in the semifinals, but they had fought valiantly, knocking out 2 top teams in the process and showing the world the lower bracket meme will soon be over. After Boston came a huge shift, patch 7.0, and Universe himself said that it was a blessing in disguise for EG. Having been brought together from different teams, this was a fresh start for everyone, all teams, and EG were quick to figure out the patch, winning China Top LAN the week after 7.0 came out, and then winning Dota Pit Season 5 finals in January against an old friend who had got the better of them 4 times in the last season, OG. Arteezy and Universe's secret mission of infiltrating other regions was starting to pay off. Once again, EG gave the other teams a chance to catch up after a 2-month break, and as expected, a direct invite was sent their way, this time for the Kiev Major. EG was hungry for victory, and while it may not have tasted like Monster, it definitely tasted like victory in the playoffs, and they smacked aside Misery's poor attempt at a cool name in Thunderbirds, avoiding falling into the same pitfall Secret did by defeating the Brazilians SG Esports in a close 2-1 series. However, once again, they would run into their arch rivals OG in the semi-finals, who put an end to their run at the Kiev Major. Although, the final stretch is all that counts in the long run, the final dash before the International 7, and in this respect, Evil Geniuses were victorious. They may have finished just behind OG at MDL Summer, but when Evil Geniuses rose to glory at the Manila Masters and finished 2nd place at Epicenter 2017, they had brilliant results for such a short season, and they were worthy, as Valve decreed, to be a direct invite once again, this time for the International 7. Under Crit and with the return of seasoned EG superstars, Evil Geniuses has been the most consistent finishers in the world. Their team has earned themselves major LAN titles in all 3 seasons, and as a result, EG earned a direct invite for the Boston Major, Kiev, and TI. Crit came into Evil Geniuses as a rookie leader and ending the season as a seasoned leading expert. Zai is ballin', Sumail is owning, Universe is voiding, and Arteezy, well, he's doing better than he ever did under PPD, that's for sure. Crit's so good he got PPD playing Gwent, for God's sakes. This team is the stuff of the American dream, and there's a feeling that they have not still reached their full potential. After they win this TI, you can bet your ass they're gonna smile this time. Now that we know the team that represents the USA in all of its glory, let's go ahead and take a look at the players that make it up. Crit is the seasoned veteran of EG, but he is the new captain. And while sometimes he can be soft-spoken, he's an absolute fiend on the battlefield. In the scene since 2012, Crit was on several Tier 2 teams and spent much of his time in NEL, a high MMR in-house league, thus making him known even in the NA region. Despite his worldwide fame and his skill, he said himself that he lost more than he had won. Crit respected these losses, claiming that he adapted a mental attitude in a game to deal with high pressure and to still perform well in a losing game. Sick of losing despite his incredible skills, Crit set off to find a team with leadership, something that he had said several times the Danish pro scene really lacked. His choice ended up bringing him to the newly formed Monkey business with Fly at the helm, who he respected after his complexity run. Finally finding the strong leader any support craves, Crit lived up to the hype, becoming the incredible support player he had always known that he could be. By the time TI6 rolled around, Crit was considered one of the best position 4 players in the world, and the double major champion had a crazy 2015 through 16 season, but he hungered for more. Crit claimed that his past problems were due to the lack of strong captains earlier in his career, and as nice as it was to play under a strong captain for ones like Fly, he decided that he wanted to become the man he had always been searching for. After TI6, he took a leap for his dream and succeeded PPD as captain and maestro of Evil Geniuses. An old head on young shoulders, Crit is unusually mature, and his intelligence both in-game and out has been a winning formula for him after becoming captain of EG. Always humble, always looking on the bright side, and always with the best hair, Crit is an integral part of the success of EG, becoming the leader to one of the best squads in the world, a leader that he never had. Crit is finally winning more games than he is losing. A accidental superstar, Arteezy seems to have stumbled into the spotlight and is able to casually manta dodge as often as he creates classic one-liners. Everything Arteezy does is gold, even if it's not quite realized why by himself. Originally rising to stardom through the NA leaderboards, Arteezy got his big shot in November of 2013. He was able to stand in and play for his old team Speed Gaming at MLG Columbus, one that he hadn't taken too seriously because of his young age. Now older, badder, and more ready to kill, Arteezy handedly defeated several elite mid-laners, including Mushi and Dendi, ensuring that Speed Gaming won over massively formidable Team DK. While people like fucking Mad had their doubts about him, Arteezy went forth to prove that he really had the best mid in the world, who came out of nowhere. 2 months later, Arteezy, along with the legendary North American player Universe and Fear, as well as former Han players PPD and Zai, created the team Sad Boys, which won an incredible 16 out of their first 18 matches, being picked up by Evil Geniuses shortly after. As one of the founding members of the squad, Arteezy is synonymous with the EG brand, and even if he ditches it once every year to go play with Secrets, sometimes he drags some of his buddies along for the ride. The reason why Artur leaves EG for greener pastures is because he still knows that he wants to be the best, and he refuses to settle for anything less. The Canadian has has earned himself the nickname Baby Rage after the Twitch emote for his explosive reactions on his personal stream when things went wrong earlier in his career. Whether he was being ganked in his lane or by his dad, his short fuse and ridiculous reactions to idiots in his Dota games, along with his questionable taste in music, has made him an extremely popular streamer back in the day, and Reddit was a playground for clips of the genius at work. These days, Arteezy has appeared to have matured quite a bit, but fans everywhere secretly hope for any Baby Rage moment, and he still runs one of the most beloved but least informative Twitter accounts in the entire Dota 2 sphere. This year, Arteezy hopes to do one thing that has eluded him for years. The one thing he regrets leaving EG for in the past, missing out on that international win. If not for himself, then to finally silence his ever-annoying Twitch chat. Hailed as one of the greatest offlaners of all time, Universe has played at the highest level for the majority of his career. Universe was part of the first international as a sub for Online Kingdom, but by TI2, he was already playing in an EG jersey along with Fear, Boba, Demon, and Malp, finishing in the top 12. Universe decided to take a break after TI2 to focus on his studies, but when he returned half a year later, he was a changed man, and it was the second coming that would soon see him transform into a giant. With his new spot in EG now taken by somebody else, he came back to the scene playing for a British organization, Team Dignitas, along with Ali 2000, and finished up yet again as one of the top 12 at TI. His performance attracted the attention of EG, who now welcomed him back, but something was wrong. The new EG roster was far from prolific and was knocked out in the group stages of 5 tournaments in a row after TI3. By January 2014, the EG roster was falling apart. Universe and teammate Fear decided to stand in for a new team, Sad Boys, which included 2 former heroes of New Earth professionals, PPD and Zai, along with the Canadian star Arteezy. The roster so casually flung together proved formidable, and the 5 players joined EG to replace the old squad a month later. Universe, who had been growing in ability, was now shoulder to shoulder with players of a similar caliber who were hungry for success, and in that environment, Universe could thrive. From this point, it was onwards and upwards for Universe. No longer was he placing top 12 or top 8. Universe was winning every tournament. His reputation as a world-class offlaner was certainly growing. The roster placed 3rd at TI4, and by the following year, EG brought in his old friend from Dignitas, Aoi 2000. Together, they became TI champions. Known for his incredible Faceless Void and Darkseer plays, the Purple Punisher was responsible for the $6 million Echo Slam that killed off CDEC and won TI. Well, technically the game was pretty much already over at that point, but hey, it was sick anyway. There are only a handful of offlaners as recognizable or as suave in this world, but no one can match his skill. Universe is EG through and through, and the only survivor of the current roster of the oldest guards. Okay, sure, he did go to Secret for a bit, but neither we or him talk about that. Nope, we know him as only one thing: the pride of North American Dota. Zai had a taste of the pro gamer lifestyle from a young age, winning the Heroes of New Earth LAN at DreamCon at just 14 years old with his team Trademark Esports back in 2012. However, by 2013, with the Han scene slowly dying, the Swede decided it was time to change games and made the switch to Dota 2 along with his American teammate, the world's greatest drafter, the future captain and CEO of EG, PPD. Their breakout team in Dota 2 was Sad Boys at the beginning of 2014, which we mentioned earlier. The team was picked up by EG only a month after they started playing together, and Zai, who had excelled at Han, was clearly a natural at Dota 2, with the 2 games having many similarities. Unlike the other new players, Zai had already experienced lands in the setting, and the speed at which Zai was mastering the nuances between the 2 games was pretty terrifying. Just a few months into his Dota 2 career with EG, Zai was already winning tournament, and his natural talent alongside with the strong leadership of PPD led EG to win the first summit and then finish top 3 at Zai's first ever TI. Zai might have broken PPD's heart by leaving with Arteezy to play for Team Secret in 2014, but 18 months later, after leaving EG, he found himself returning to the EG jersey once again. Returning from a break to finish high school to reach the top 3 at TI6. I mean, who doesn't get dragged into Secret by Arteezy anyway, right? Zai has proven over time to be a sharp and cunning competitor, able to learn new heroes quickly, and the fact that he was able to take almost a year off to complete school shows that he values his intelligence as much as his competitiveness. Where most would lose a step after leaving Dota for a year, Zai came back stronger than ever. Zai has placed top 3 at 2 Valve Internationals with EG, and this will be his 4th international since joining the scene only 4 years ago. While other players have spent years only to have a few months in the spotlight, Zai has chose to leave it by choice. Most interesting thing about Zai, this motherfucking culture. He has a love for music, film, and the arts, and is basically the Beethoven of the 21st century esport. If you're looking for a class act in both life and sports, look no further than the eloquent Zai. The dynamo of the team and their most flashy player, EG made Sumail into the superstar that he is today. After Arteezy left EG for the first time in 2015, EG were suddenly left without a mid player. Sumail's family had moved to the States from Pakistan a year earlier, and Sumail had used the time to keep up his Dota addiction, showcasing his talents in the North American Elite League leaderboards, which attracted the attention of EG offlaner Universe. Sumail was only 15 when EG asked him to join the team to fill the gap left by Arteezy. Outside of the NAC, nobody knew who Sumail was, but they soon found out at DAC 2015. Sumail's first major LAN event. The mid-wizard took the spotlight and dominated that tournament with the Storm Spirit plays, helping EG to win the $3 million competition in China, and then half a year later, the International 5. Dominating as Storm Spirit is a bit of an understatement. We're talking about a guy who got literally shat on for half a game and then went on to win it single-handedly with that Storm. Sumail played Storm so well they nerfed the hero into non-existence, and he can still one-man win games with it, as he did with his incredible 5-man near black hole-like plays a few months ago at the Manila Masters. Sumail used to wear a neck pillow around everywhere because he knows how to put motherfuckers to sleep. Since he arrived at Dota 2 main stage, the shy teenager has become somewhat of a rock star, and even featured in Time Magazine's most influential teens alongside Jaden Smith and Barack Obama's daughters. The swagger's pretty real. Sumail is living the American dream and has earned $2.5 million since joining EG in 2015. What have you done since 2015? He's grown as both a player and a person. No longer the quiet boy, Sumail is growing up into the badass man we all hoped he could be. He is a shining example of what EG is capable of and the reality of the American dream. Well, that'll just about do it for this episode of TIDL. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Hope the America theme wasn't too hard on you. I love everybody. Don't worry about it. Anyway, special shout out to our editor, Patrick Jones, all the boys that are part of the team now, the music guy, the intro guy, the writing guy, Moustrix, and Sproink and David, even though I say this shit every time. You can click on their stuff at the bottom of the video. Thank you. Special shout out to PBD and Phil, the manager for EG, who had time to look over the script and tell me about accuracy and stuff. Those guys have always been great and are two of the nicest guys in the scene. You know, unless they're being assholes in front of camera. So, anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope to see you again, and shout out to everybody on Patreon who helped make this episode possible. Thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you next time on TIDL, the International Download. Also, I'm going to TI. Woo!